Welcome to Logic Bulletin. Today we are diving into something critical but often overlooked: cognitive labor exploitation and workplace deaths. Now, labor exploitation isn't new, right? We usually think of poor working conditions, low pay, long hours, especially in unorganized sector. Gig workers like those on online platforms often come to mind. But here's the thing, it's not just them. What's truly alarming is how even organized workers in sectors like IT and banking are also facing exploitation, though in different forms. And that's where the term cognitive labor exploitation comes in. Burnout is already a major issue, but we need to look deeper at this type of exploitation. It's not something that gets talked about much, but it's huge. Companies aren't just draining physical energy anymore. They are taking your mental energy too. Think about jobs in accounting, IT, or creative fields, constantly using your brain to solve problems, innovate, and think critically. And the thing is, it's exhausting because it's mental work. People just often overlook how draining it is. But mental exhaustion can be just as harmful, sometimes more so than physical exhaustion. And the scariest part, it creeps upon you without warning. Now, what we are really seeing here isn't two separate issues, but rather a singular model of exploitation that manifests in different ways. The upper out model is a major part of that exploitation, and burnout is one of its direct outcomes. Speaking of the upper out model, it's incredibly common in companies today. This model pushes employees to either move up the ranks quickly or be pushed out of the company if they don't meet certain performance metrics. Or let me put it like, it's like you either climb the ladder quickly or you are out of the game. The problem is companies are so focused on maximizing performance that they completely overlook the mental and emotional toll. And sadly, it's the employees who pay the price, not the companies. Corporate accountability is crucial here. Burnout and the mental health crisis tied to it are not just personal problems. These are issues that companies must take responsibility for. It's not just about profits and performance metrics. It's about ensuring employees' well-being. Ignoring that, it's bad ethics and bad business in the long run. In fact, it's become almost the norm in these high-pressure environments. To give you some perspective, a recent report by Medibuddy and CII showed that 62% of Indian employees are dealing with burnout. That's 3 times the global average. It's staggering. And the cause? Poor work-life balance and overwhelming stress. To make matters worse, 71% of these employees are spending around 5% of their income on healthcare expenses out of their own pockets. That's a clear sign of just how much this burnout is affecting physical health. Burnout isn't just a workplace issue, it's a public health crisis. When we talk about work-life balance, it's almost non-existent in today's corporate world. Employees get so wrapped up in their own work that they lose sight of their personal lives. They become emotionally detached, not just from their jobs, but from their own well-being. Even Karl Marx's theory of alienation doesn't quite capture what's happening today. The nature of work has changed, but that sense of being disconnected both from the work itself and from ourselves is still alive and well. Let's not forget about the human cost. Now, you are expected to answer emails and join virtual meetings no matter the hour. This constant availability, it's not sustainable. When employees are given the space to recharge, they come back more focused and productive. But too many companies still see work-life balance as a luxury, not a necessity. Take Anna's case, a name many of you will recognize. A talented professional from the EY in Pune, she was overwhelmed by stress and workload. Her story shook many of us because it's not just about her. It's a reflection of a much larger issue. And then there's a case of May, a 30-year-old factory worker in Thailand. Recently, she collapsed and died after her manager refused her sick leave. She had just returned from the hospital recovering from an inflamed intestine. These cases remind us that burnout and overwork are universal issues. Now, let me make it loud and clear. No one disputes the need for improving worker efficiency. It's essential in today's world without question. But what we can't ignore is how this has turned into outright exploitation. It's a system where individuals don't matter anymore, only abnormal profits do. And the profits, they come at a devastating human cost. This has to stop. The government must step in and implement regulatory frameworks to protect workers from this relentless grind. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to the channel for more content.